I do not know how to start this video. There once was a man up to no good. He started making, no. I really don't know how to start this video. It's a weird one, and I'm not even sure how you guys are gonna feel about it. Hopefully you enjoy it. If you do, let me know down below. But today, kind of long awaited, we're gonna talk about my ex-girlfriend. Hey guys, how are you doing, by the way? Totally forgot to do my intro. It's long awaited because if you've watched my channel for about over a year now, you would know that I make a lot of jokes about my ex-girlfriend in my videos, about how she left me, about how we broke up, about how I'm single, all those kind of great quality self-deprecating jokes. I really do look like a sports dad today, don't I? Look. Go on, child, do all the sports. Now, like I said, I have no idea if you guys are going to enjoy this. Hopefully you do. It's kind of a story time video, which I have done before, but I haven't done in a long time. So yeah, hopefully you guys can take some things away from this. You can get some advice from it. If not, find my life funny. Don't care. And we are going to refer to my ex-girlfriend as Shannon, which, if you haven't figured out yet, was not her name. Is not her name. Let's hope she's still alive. So yeah, she was my first girlfriend, which is a pretty big deal. And I say first girlfriend as in first proper relationship that was serious, and not me in year 9 or year 8 having a girlfriend who I didn't even kiss. That is, I mean, that doesn't really count unless you don't believe in hugging before marriage or don't have any arms. But you guys know what I mean. She was my first proper relationship that was kind of serious. I was, how old was I? 19? I'm 22 now. Yeah, I must have been 19. So I was 19 when I had my first relationship. I think that that's probably a bit later than a normal person. Actually, I don't know about that. That might not be true. I don't know. Someone call up NASA, ask them if I'm right or not, and then tell them you're sorry for ringing them because they're busy exploring space. I don't really know what to say about the relationship. I'm not going to go into too much detail. I guess what you guys kind of want to know is like why we broke. That's probably why you want to know why she's my ex, you know? So in short, we were together for a year and a half, I want to say, which I think for that age is kind of a normal, maybe a short relationship. But you know, when you're that age, you rarely have people that like go on for like 5 years. The relationship itself was good. We watched a lot of Supernatural. That's kind of one of the main things I remember. Is that a bad thing? Supernatural is not a bad thing. It's a great show. Team Dean, because he's way cooler. Sorry, Sammy. Nikki and Sammy. Dean and Sammy. Oh, Lord. I met her in college, which for Americans is the last 2 years of high school. We just started hanging out and I got to know her. I liked her. And one thing that I'll say is when you like someone and you actually like that person, all your inhibitions and like scared shyness, I don't know if this works for you guys, but for me it definitely does, just goes out the window. I'm like, yeah, I like that person, so I'm just gonna go for it, which I think is a great thing. Actually, I think that might just be me, which is a really lucky trait that I have. I don't think a lot of people do have that. If you do, let me know. If you don't, I can try and help. How am I gonna help? I haven't got my life together. You should probably preface this entire video with I haven't got my life together. I kind of do. And I'd say it's a pretty standard relationship for every other aspect, apart from one thing, which is what makes this relationship kind of interesting, probably for you guys, is that she was actually Muslim. She wasn't, her family was, which means 2 things. 3, it meant a lot of things, actually. This isn't going to be a religious debate, by the way. This isn't that kind of video. It just kind of explains why the relationship ended. So her family was pretty strict followers of Islam, and what that meant is that she never told her parents about me. How crazy is that? At the time, my young 18 to 19 year old, not really sure how old I was, self, I was like, it doesn't matter. I love her. It's great. I'll stay with her. Now, my personal experience, and I don't want to tell you that this is exactly how it should go if you're in a similar experience, is that was the dumbest thing I could have done, because really, you miss out on a whole part of someone's life. She never stayed around my house. She did go around my house. She just never stayed the night at my house. And this is after a year and a half of relationship. And I never got to go to her house. Like I said, parents didn't know I existed. That puts a lot of strain on a relationship. And I had a lot of my friends saying to me, Che, you might want to reconsider that. Not in a horrible way. They were like, you know, that's not, like, in a long-term relationship, that's probably not gonna be great. And they were right, 100% right. But like I said, when you're like, I'm in love, this person's great, you're like, I don't care. I really don't care. That's why people that are in love are stupid. That's not true. That's not true at all. You just gotta still be logical. Now, you guys probably want to know why she's my ex. And the reason for that is because kind of a lot of tension built up from the stuff I just said about how I wanted to meet her parents. I wanted her to stay over. It kind of gets to you eventually. You're like, why is this not happening? That's not what happens in a normal relationship. This isn't normal. And I don't even know if it's not normal. It's just not what I wanted. So that kind of put a lot of pressure on it. And what eventually happened is actually I nearly broke up with her, and then I cried a lot because it was my first girlfriend, and we got back together. And then eventually she actually broke up with me. She said she wanted to go on a break, and then I was like, I don't like breaks. I don't like the idea of a break, because if you want to go on a break, you are not really wanting to make it work, you know? And it's sucky because relationships are so complex and complicated, and anyone that's been in one will know that there's so many different things going on, and you know that you kind of want to be with someone. Obviously, if it's a really toxic relationship, you want to get out of that. But if you do really like that person or you love that person, then you don't just want to break up with them, even if something sucks, like you don't get to meet their parents and they don't stay over, that kind of stuff. And I kind of just decided then and there, like as soon as she left the house, I was like, nope, this isn't going to work. She actually came back a few days later and we talked about it and we broke up, which all seemed fine. It seemed absolutely fine. It was a good, clean breakup, and I was like, oh, cool. I did this maturely. I'm an adult. You guys know I'm not an adult. And then just through text and like Facebook Messenger and stuff like that, I think we argued a bit, and I found out after the fact that she was telling my friends that she wanted to speak to me again, and I was like, yo, why? This is weird, you know? And actually, I haven't spoken to her since we broke up, not in person, which is probably not the best, but whatever. It's like 2 years ago now. I guess it doesn't really matter too much. I'll tell you one thing, breakups suck. Even if you know it's for the best, they still suck so much. If you've been with someone for like over a year, I don't even know, if you've been with someone and you've been really, really close to that person and you break up with them, that is like a terrible thing. I'm gonna try and think of some advice that I can give you guys. The advice would be, if they broke up with you, it's a really good idea to just not contact them and try and stay as far away from them, because otherwise you're going to be like, I miss you so much more than you already do. That's what I did. That's why I didn't speak to her for so long, and then eventually I was just like, I don't even need to speak to you anymore. Life moves on. But there's one thing that I know a lot of you guys have heard me say before, and I think you thought it was a joke, but it really wasn't, is that she did actually at one point say to me that she didn't think YouTube was a real job and that there was no real point of me continuing to do it. This is before it was my job and before I moved out, which kind of funny looking back on that, isn't it? I love my job. Being a YouTuber is great. So that part wasn't a joke. That part was always real. I don't know what else to say really about it. The one piece of advice I've taken away from it that I would give to you guys is that however much you think it's gonna last and how strong the relationship is, if there's something like that, like I was telling you guys about how like I didn't get to meet her parents and I didn't get her to, she didn't stay around mine, that was such a big deal to me, and I think I kind of just put it behind to be like, no, it's fine, we'll get over it. But if there's something like that, basically talk about it. That's the best thing, because I should have done that way before and then gotten out of that relationship, because it was kind of like, I don't want to say toxic, but it wasn't good for me. I think that is pretty much everything I can say about that, and hopefully you guys know a bit more about Shannon now. That's it. That was a serious video, Che. We're to talk about a past relationship that's like 2 years old. I don't know. I'd see if you guys are interested. If not, I won't do a video like this, and I'll go back to doing some other funny video, hopefully funny video next week. But if you did enjoy it, you know, give it a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments if you want to hear more stories. I've probably got a bunch more. I don't pretend that I'm really good at life. I'm only 22. I've not lived it loads, but felt like I got some cool stories. So let me know if there's anything you want to hear about in the comments, and give the video a thumbs up, subscribe if you're new around here, all that good stuff. And I mean, do the outro with me if you want to. If you don't, I might have to break up with you. But peace out. Don't start wars. Is your life, you gotta go live it. I love you guys a lot, and I will see you next time. Wayo.
I said I'm coming back around. And you ain't going nowhere, so put your jacket down. And they might take me away, but guess who's back in town? The count feeling graduated with no cap and gown. I said I'm coming back.